Hello, guys. I thought I wanted to listen to that song, but then I couldn't wait till it was over. I'm difficult on music. How we feeling? Everybody had a good weekend? Awesome. Awesome. All right. With the markets like this, honestly, there isn't much to do. All right. Well, when we have things like this, and I don't know if you guys are familiar, and I mean, I don't have a degree or anything to detail out Trump's plan to buy back the US national debt, but I think it's actually quite a decent plan for the US. So they're gonna impose tariff, cut down on a bunch of spending with Elon Musk, right? And they're gonna buy back their jet for way cheaper, and they're gonna get out of trillions of dollars of debt, bring it back to a stable level. So I mean, it's logical, it makes sense, but yes, the results, especially in the tech sector, right, when we're gonna be looking at Nasdaq, are gonna be tremendous, and of course that has a huge weight on the S&P 500 as well, and it leads to very bearish PA. So could it lead to a bearish year? Yeah, 100%. But you guys know me, I don't like to look out that far. My experience is very limited in terms of long-term profiling. That's why I'm doing the weekly outlooks, the monthly outlooks, statistical outlooks with you guys, right? But on a yearly level, I mean, we can use seasonality, and that's what I like to use. But any sort of statistics won't work well for bearish years, in my personal opinion, just because of the small sample size. So I guess the only question we have left to add is, how do I interact with a day like this? And the easiest way to showcase it to you guys is I'm going to type Control I, isn't it Control I or Alt I? There we go. So Alt I on my keyboard. And as you can see, that flipped the chart. And now you can see here very easily, the values go lower as we go higher, right? This simply just flipped the chart. Now imagine we're on a fully bearish asset, and then we have bullish moments, right? How do we interact with those? How do we trade those specific moments? Well, we look for retracement opportunities, of course, but the most important part is don't trade against the trend, not the trade. Yeah, flipping charts, we are now bullish, always bullish on NASDAQ, just sometimes we have to flip it, you know? No, but truly, the important part is just remember that you want to trade alongside the trend, right? And right now, the trend is bearish. These assets are going down. Price is going to keep going down until proven otherwise. So in the same way that when we're bullish, we see every move lower as a retracement, this for me is a reversal. And now I'm going to look below for expansion with clear objectives, right? I'm on a weekly chart, but I'm also going to go all the way up to a monthly chart. I'm going to look lower for objectives and look for higher as retracements until proven otherwise. What does that mean? Okay, well, let's look at our most recent range. And of course, with last week's PA, I'm very happy to not trade early on this week. Give it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to just solidify, consolidate, and give me an idea of what kind of trades I can look for. But any trades to the upside will be up till when? First premium and efficiency, which in this case would be the fair value gap here next to this order block. Good objective could also refer to this slightly bigger range, right? Always focusing on the symmetry here. This move, this retracement is simply part of this expansion. So I can refer to this bigger range and see that the first premium and efficiency is the same regardless, right? So really does not matter in this case. But truth is, when the markets are like this, you're either going to go short very late. Myself, I took a swing short here. I just closed very early, apparently. I closed slightly under this level. I left a lot of upside. Let's just say it like that. A lot of upside. Not my biggest. I panicked a little bit there. But if you're not positioned in a swing trade, how can you do it? Well, I'm going to take scalps based on statistical frameworks, right? Whenever a higher time frame direction is unclear, it is the same exact way that I interact with my charts. Would full TP at low-hanging fruit on every trade be favorable? Yes and no, Patrick, because it's not because we're going lower that the markets are in a worse condition, right? We're day traders. whether I go short or long, I'm going to treat it as one of two things, expansion or retracement. So if it's an expansion, no, I'm not going to move my full TP to where my partial usually is. But I'm going to make sure that I'm in line with what price is doing. And right now, what price is doing is falling, right? And to use ICT's expression, is dropping like a falling knife, right? And don't try and catch the falling knife. So I'm going to keep looking for high probability opportunities, shorts and premium, longs and discount. But I feel like the next 1 or 2 weeks is probably going to be a lot of break-even trades and a lot of smaller trades. Right? This is just me being used to it. We've just had a large expansion. And in the same way that after a large range day on the daily, we look for retracement, after a large week, we're going to look for retracement as well. So I'm not anticipating the start of the week to be very pretty. If we keep expanding lower very aggressively, especially if we gap lower, I'm probably just not going to trade for the full week, to be fair. CPI is a very high volatility event, and I'm going to be referring to the economic news ranges that are going to be formed from CPI. Usually runs on side with price. Very interesting news event to study in case you guys are unfamiliar with all the interest rate, right? In the inflation data, pretty much. So CPI, PMI, PPI, all of these news interact in the same way. It's a very, very interesting thing to study. But that's where I believe I will have my only opportunities this week, because just based on the higher time frame chart, this is one of the cases where I tell you guys, like when we see a trending day, right? And I missed the trade. I missed it, right? There was an opportunity and I didn't take it, or I got out early. Well, I'm not going to try and chase price. And that's what happened for me. I was swing short and I got out early. I'm not going to try and chase. And for my day trading, as you guys know, focusing on repeatable frameworks that no matter the market conditions will work with a consistent probability. So not much to talk about, right? We can do our normal outlooks. And truth is, there are no real levels I'm focusing on because everything is too far to the left. So of course, if I'm going short, I'm going to look to take profit at this weekly swing low because that's what we're referring to. But right now, when we're going to be retracing into yearly ranges, like this isn't very interesting for me to engage with, right? And in cases like these, I like to go on the 6 month. This is actually something that Kit ICT Concepts brought to me. I forgot his screen name. But see, we have a first discount in efficiency. But this first discount in efficiency is what? 1,000 handles? Oh no, just 500 handles. But can we wick below that? Yes. And this is a 6 month candle that started in January. So yes, it's going to end this month. Okay, so what do I want to see here? I want to see it wick down here and stop somewhere here to have a bullish year. But if at any point we close below this low this month, this is what I'm interested in, right? Because if we close below this line, and I'll actually change it so that I can easily recognize it on my other charts. If we close below this line, and for me, that's a bearish year. We just inverted a 6 month array. My next target is what? Right? When we disrespect a first discount, what's my next target? Of course, I'm going to look for potential support here. I'm looking at a 6 month chart. I don't use it like I do a daily chart. But the next clear objective is going to be this swing low, and that's for a bearish year. Are you saying bond stock inverse correlation is back? I mean, it's so rare to see it, and it's so, sorry for my words, but in my mind, it is so useless that we shouldn't use it. That's my personal opinion as a 2 year experienced trader, almost. But personally, I don't use concepts like these. If you're looking for something more to give you confidence, honestly, I would just use COT reports. COT reports in times where we alter from basic, I don't want to use an algorithmic term here, but for example, we strive further from what is common, right? Is it common to have a bearish year on NASDAQ? No, it is not. So if we are to have it, then COT reports month over month would definitely be of interest to me to frame some longer term positioning. But truth is, there isn't much to do right now, at least in my opinion, right? So what do I do when I'm unsure about what's going on in my higher time frame? Well, it's very simple. I just trade from a day-to-day perspective. So I'm referring to levels that were formed in the previous day, in the previous week. in the current day sessions. I'm going to use session highs and lows. I'm going to trade retracements to opening prices. I'm going to look at gaps very intensely, right? And not just the new day opening gap and the new week opening gap, but also the regular trading hours gap. So in cases like these, I don't see what else there is to be done. And I'm open to any of you guys' insight because I'm just as lost as someone who starts his first day trading and is asked to do some long-term analysis. I have done it on crypto quite a bit and on stocks as well for some long-term picks. But truth is, I'm a day trader. And if you guys want to ask me, okay, well, what are we going to do in the next 6 months? I don't know. We could have a bearish year. We could have a bullish year. All I'm going to make sure that I do is that I manage my account correctly and position myself based on statistics so that no matter if we have a bearish or bullish next week, month, year, it doesn't matter and I'm still making money. Monthly immediate IMB is immediate rebalance, right? Or imbalance. Monthly imbalance overlaps with that 6 months too. Perhaps I actually skipped the monthly chart. Yeah, but too much info on the monthly right now. Honestly, for such a large trend since November 2022 here, December, November 2022, I'm not too interested in using the monthly chart. I need to go higher. You could go on the 3-month, refer to a slightly more recent range. And let me just move this aside so we can see better. But if we refer to this range, we just don't have a discount and efficiency in this time frame other than that order block down there, which gives you this same insight but worse than what we can see clearly on our 6-month. This line here, I'll even put it red. No, because red is downside liquidity for me. So purple, this means do not cross. All right, I don't want to cross this. And just as last week we said, or was it the week just before? I think it was last week's outlook. We said if we invalidate the SMT that was present at this level, we're going to be bearish for the foreseeable future. Well, this scenario happened, and now we're bearish. And to be fair, it kind of sucks, but rotating towards diverging assets as well is going to be good. So I'm going to start focusing a little more. I'm going to look at some clear frameworks. I'm just going to do some research on Rice Statistics pretty much to find some good frameworks on gold, on oil. I'm going to be interested in the Russell, perhaps, better index in times like these, I believe. I'm also going to consider trading other metals like platinum, for example, right? I'm really going to move around and see which assets can give me a statistical edge that I can trade for when my statistical edge and just my overall edge is worse on NASDAQ, right? When price just falls, trends like this, it's not the best opportunities for me trading New York. If you're trading Asia or London, you can get positioned very early during big trending days, but that's not my trading style anyways. So I do understand it might be a little less clear for you guys as an outlook compared to usual, right? Usually we have our levels. If we do this, we do that. This week, I'm going to let Monday through Wednesday do its thing. I'll give you guys an update, maybe even a midweek analysis. I don't want to tell you guys I'll be doing one for sure and end up not doing one, but pretty busy times right now. So perhaps we'll have a midweek analysis after we see Monday through Wednesday's PA. And for those of you that are wondering, why am I not trading Wednesday when there's FOMC meeting minutes? It is not a news. I do not care that they are meeting. It does not consistently provide volatility. It does sometimes, but not consistently. As I said, a little bit unconventional for an outlook where I tell you guys that I have no clue where it's going. But I think it's important to remain transparent and to understand that throughout the whole year, there are times where I'm completely lost. And the best thing I can do in those cases is focus on a smaller time period. Focus on the day. Focus on the session. And this is where statistics really give me an edge because I can find profitable frameworks to trade with my model no matter the time of day, no matter the session, no matter the market conditions. But do you guys have any questions though? I do believe that we have some opportunity to reverse here after April closes and go on for a bullish year, but it's going to take a lot. And currently, as you guys know, when I'm very bullish, I say I'm bullish until proven otherwise. Currently, I'm very bearish and will remain so until it shows me some bullish order flow on the higher time frames. Well, if we don't have questions, then we're just gonna call it a day here. I wish you all luck. As I said, might be a midweek analysis. I'll post an announcement about it for sure. So you guys have a good time. Good luck if you're trading early on this week. And if not, we'll see each other either Wednesday night or Thursday night for a price action review. You guys have a good one. Talk soon. My pleasure. Always a pleasure.